Good morning, Tech to Titans and Solid Steppers. This is Miss Ward coming to you from I-10. Right now I'm headed out to 9 Mile at Pensacola. Gotta switch out my phones and I'll drop them off to the guys to take care of my data transfer. I'm telling you, it's all in the day's work, getting it done and getting started earlier. You know, what I'd like to discuss today, once again, I want to say thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe because this is going to be a banger, the usual. This morning, I was reflecting on the choice I made to own my own appliance repair business. And so what I want to talk about is whether you're going to be on or you're going to own it. And when I say that, you know, it depends on where you want to be and what you want to do. We all come to a point in our technical experience in life where we have to choose whether we want to be a millionaire W-2 employee and whether we want to be a multi-millionaire business owner. You got a couple of choices, and we want to talk about how we make those choices and the decisions. I'm not sitting here saying one is better than the other because it depends on what your long-term goals are. The first thing you want to do is look at the two. The pros of being a W-2 employee for the right company: you got a little bit of stability, less stress. You can dominate and master your skill set and hopefully continue to level up and take advantage of what the company brings to you, whether it's 401k, investments, tuition reimbursement, you know, continuous training and mentorship in different areas of your life to make you well-rounded. Hopefully, if you're working for a company, that they are really investing in their human capital, which is really the most important part of the company, in my opinion. Now, on the other side, if you choose to start your own appliance repair company, there are a couple of things you got to think about. First of all, you got to think about the stress level. When you work a W-2, you're stressed, you know, you go to work. Hopefully when you leave work, you can leave work at work. When you run your own business, that is with you 24/7. Every decision you make, no matter what you do, it's on you. The buck stops with you. So those decisions have to be well thought out, and they have to be well founded because they may affect your trajectory in the rest of your life. You know, it can end. You can make one decision, it can shut your business down immediately. So that's why you got to stay trained up in all areas: back office, front office, customer service, taxes, finances, and the technical side. You know, so when you're balancing those things, you got to think, what is best for me? Do I feel, have you really done a self-assessment? And when I say self-assessment, have you looked at your strengths, your weaknesses, and your areas of opportunity? Have you sought out mentorship? I always advise people to get mentors in whatever they do. I have a mentor in basically most parts of my life. I have a physical mentor that helps me with my workouts and my nutrition. I have a mentor that helps me on my professional side because I personally am aware that I can't do this forever. And I want to be able to transition into something that is a seamless transition. I'm still making plenty cheese, and my stress level has dropped significantly. That is the goal. Because if you're not aiming for something that's not only going to make you a better person, but also is going to give you a better quality of life, and what are you doing? These are things we got to think about. You know, you got to think about, am I really ready to be an appliance repair person? Am I ready? I mean, whether you stay with the company or get your own, the technical piece is going to be key on how much you can charge for your rate and for your abilities. Like, prime example, you see people that stay with companies for years, and whatever their job description is, they get put that on autopilot. They don't grow, they don't get more education, they don't get more certifications. I mean, what are you doing? Because the time is going to pass anyway. But, you know, life keeps lifing. Things become priorities, and unfortunately, some of those priorities are not you. But in a business, the business is the priority, or else there would be no business, there would be no food, there would be no resources, there would be no cash. So you have to really decide if this is the time to do it. You know, a lot of people will come out here and tell you, oh, just get out here. I would never tell you that. in the world we're living in today, and particularly the political client, you better make sure your head is on a swivel. You know, I'm always telling you to get your skills up. Shout out to Diamond Dave. Get some skills or take the deal. That's where he's at, and he's telling the truth. At some point, you have to make a decision. And even if you get a little part-time hustle, I mean, you got Diamond Dave that has his options trading course. You got several things you can do on the side. I tell people who have a full-time job, start an appliance repair business on the side and manage the amount of work you take in, get your skill set up, earmark some time, because some of y'all like to work with your hands anyway. You can still work your job and run an appliance repair business. And you can really do really well because, you know, some people tell you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, but I'm here to tell you, you better have as many feet in the game as you can get. Because we in an economy where if you are not stacking, if you're not clear about your priorities, like for instance, you know, we all got the hierarchy of needs, man. What is that? Pavlov's hierarchy of needs? You got to have a place to stay. You got to have food to eat. You got to have shelter. You know, and if your job is connected to your ability to have that consistency, and for those of you that are renters and don't own your home yet, let me tell you, it ain't no joke. The stress is real. So I can tell people what I did all day, but that doesn't mean that works for everybody. And I'm constantly about living beneath my means because I'm at a point in my life, I personally feel like I've done a lot of things and experienced a lot. So it's very few things that I need to go out and do financially to make myself feel better or what have you. I'm at a stage in my life where I'm trying to make sure my money is working harder than me. So that is a whole nother level of education, and you have to remember this when you decide to go into business for yourself, or if you decide to stay with a company. If you decide to stay with a company, you should be the best employee they got while you're there. But then when you get out of there, you better be working on that next level, whether it's things that you haven't completed in life that will add to your value, because most people don't realize in order to get to a certain level of pay, you really got to move around if you're a W-2. It's very rarely that the company you are working for is going to consistently give you incentives, raises that beat and exceed inflation, and things of that nature, and stock options and things of that. Now, some people, you know, I have some friends on the IT side, they live in the life. They don't even know they live in the life because that's all they've ever known. So they have great jobs. They work with what I consider great companies that give them work-life balance. They can work as much as they want, make as much money as they want. Basically, it really has to do with how they strategically place themselves in the game. And I feel the same way about your business. When you decide to get on the business side, you need to address any financial challenges you have on the personal, because they just are magnified when you get on the financial side, on your business side. Prime example, if you can't balance the checkbook in your personal life, if you always going in the negative or you using overdraft in the personal life, man, let me tell you, it will put a magnet on any struggles you have. If you have problems on your personal side communicating with people and you don't have any soft skills, you know, and you work on your W-2 job a certain way, let me tell you what's going to happen when you get over here. When you get on the business side, between your staff, your subcontractors, your vendors, and your customers, they're going to teach you some soft skills. Because you can't go handling people any kind of way, you know? And take it from somebody that came out of the rough and tough industry of automotive, where it is brutal in those shops, particularly when you're dealing with high volume and certain calibers of clients. And I was able to manage multiple states at a time, you know, of employees and managers and staff. And I knew everybody's name. I had a one-on-one relationship because I was accessible. But I really kind of stopped my personal life to be the super regional person I was, because I knew the importance of keeping morale up. I knew the importance of human capital, and I knew that if my staff and my team was not happy and was not heard, my life was going to be a living hell. I mean, it was still a living hell, but on the good side, simply because to this day I can call any of my staff and they will jump. And at that time, that was the call on my life, to really help people understand how phenomenal they were, how you don't have to be afraid of that corporate structure when you got somebody like me in the gap, because I understood them. I understood where they came from. I understood their beliefs and what their goals and dreams were, and I protected them because that was the call on my life at that time. So that's why when I'm coaching people and I am intense and passionate about it, I'm passionate because I sometimes can see things in them that they don't see in themselves, and I know what that looks like. But once again, be very, very clear if you decide to start an appliance repair business that it is another level. It is going to open up things in your life and challenge you in ways that you never thought you could be before, because until you done put thousands and thousands of hours and dollars on the line just to wake up and find out that you thought you did this the right way and that there was another trap set, that there was another level. You know what they say, with new levels come new devils. So I definitely want you to take some time to decide, are you going to own it, or are you going to work for someone who owns it? That's all I got for y'all today. Be blessed. And as always, solid steppers keep stepping. Protect the Titans. Tighten up. Let's go.